Hello everyone, welcome on back to Survival Challenge. Alright, so I think the plan is to probably get at least one, maybe two trees brought down to the sawmill to be sold. We still gotta keep that money coming in, obviously. I did get the sawmill changed, so it's not producing as much wood products. It is now, what, 12? Yeah, 12 cycles per month. That is far better. I want to say, does it put it on par with this now? No, it's half of this. It's less than the wood miser here. And I think it's higher than the small sawmill that you can buy base game. And I switched it to do planks, and we're just automatically selling them right now. That'll give us about, I want to say about $4,000 a month. If I remember correctly from prices of planks, which isn't terrible. Obviously, if we had a greenhouse, you could probably make about that much as well. I think like a medium greenhouse can do like 2 pallets of lettuce in a month, and I'm trying to see how much is lettuce. $3,000. So it's not too bad. It's certainly not too bad. But yeah, I mean, for the time being, obviously it's going to automatically sell, so it'll be a little bit of a decrease from doing that. Honestly, not sure how much we're going to be able to bring to be sold. I just know we have a couple of things I'd obviously like to get bought today. We need to get this field here lined, as well as planted, preferably. I have got a modded planter now. I think it's $700. It's fairly cheap. I don't know why I'm looking at sprayers. So $700, it's fairly cheap. It can do fertilizer at the same time. It's not a direct drill, which is fine. It's by EY Modding. The Payton M47, I believe, did the conversion on it. I believe they're credited on the third-party mod site, so I'm assuming they did the conversion. I'll have that linked below, but yeah, fertilizer spreaders, our main option is probably this, because we need to do lime, and that's $3.5 grand, and that's not even including obviously the lime itself. And we certainly do want to get this eventually anyways, because we'll have to get our fields fertilized. Second layer next month, probably, our one field. Right, so looks like this might be one of the only trees we get in here. I think this is what, a lodgepole? Yeah, and these are fairly long trees, so it does kind of make sense why it'd be one of the only ones we could probably get in today. Oh, I stopped cutting it just before it was done. Now, more than likely, I'm thinking for crops to be planted. What can this plant first? Okay, it's just like a regular cedar. So likely oats then. That should be ready right around the higher price. Obviously, our only worry then would be having a harvester itself. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. There's a good amount of third-party mod site options, as well as Mod Hub. The Mod Hub ones are definitely going to be, well, a little bit more expensive, which is kind of expected. We haven't quite got all the $20,000 harvesters yet. So eventually they'll make their way, but not available currently. We shouldn't need to worry about getting anything more into this production. We still have 20,000 liters in there, so we're doing pretty good. I didn't change this cycles per month because I figured we're literally just converting wood to wood. It really doesn't matter how much it goes through, how quick it does it. That doesn't matter too much. Which honestly, if we wanted to, we could put our wood in there and just automatically sell it through that function. We would, I would assume, still lose that, what, 100, no. Is it 10%, 20% you lose by having it automatically sell? Which, yeah, it doesn't seem like a ton, but right now, every little bit counts. So it's one of those things I don't want to just leave that on the table, basically. One of the last things I'd want to do. Yeah, a lot of different things to be bought this month. My only worry is I'm not sure how much fertilizer and seeds we'll use. It's hard to say. I would assume it's going to be less than 1,000 liters each. But it's, you know, like I said, it's kind of hard to say for certain. Lime, tough to say there as well. Obviously, if we buy extra, we'll use it eventually, but we're not in a position where we can just freely spend extra money. Obviously, the sawmill is helping us out a ton. So I think a pallet of planks is about $4 grand, and then you have to minus the, what, 20% off for automatic sell. Helping us out a ton. It's a heck of a lot better than what it was at, what, 240 cycles a month. So we're making far less money than what we would normally. I can edit it, you know, in the future if there is a lot of people wanting it changed more. But I feel like it changed from 240 cycles to 12 is a huge cutback. It's slightly less than the Wood Miser here. And the Wood Miser is kind of like that in-between option for the sawmills. So I think there's like 3 total sawmills. The really small one, the Wood Miser, then there's the bigger production one. Alright, so here we are at the sawmill for selling point for the wood. I feel like the character that's been standing there has changed like every time. Maybe that's just me, but 4.5, wow. That is pretty dang good. Pretty dang good. I mean, I know it is like $3,000 per 1,000 liters, so obviously wood is a fairly good product. I think it would say in here. Yeah, $3,000 per 1,000 liters. So in that case, we didn't really get that much from it. Obviously in liters, but in money, pretty good. Pretty good. So that does put us in a fairly good position right now. I kind of wish we could get this one. That would be such a huge upgrade. I think that's definitely going to be an upgrade that we look to do fairly early on, just because of the extra liter amount, because this is going to run out pretty dang quick. It's going to be painful, almost. So we'll buy that. And we'll want to do, obviously, lime, as well as the cedar. We'll get this bought as well. So we're sitting fairly good financially. We'll want to buy a thing of seeds. And 1 thing of fertilizer, which I have a lot of the like partial bags and stuff I could buy. I think we'll go with the full one, which is not cheap, obviously. Obviously, we're down to 5,500 now. Goes pretty quick. Now, lime is not too bad. I think we're going to buy 2, though. That's probably more than what we need. But you just go through so much lime. It's kind of tough to judge on how much you're going to end up using. So there we go. We got everything that we need to buy. And we're still doing fairly well. I'll get this trailer switched over to the flatbed. And then we can get the consumables loaded up onto it. Then I'll have to make a separate trip for the fertilizer spreader as well as the cedar. Alright, so let's get this switched. certainly don't want to do any repairs. Probably can't afford that. Like I said, it has the nice free option to do that. Basically, just take the sides off. I mean, it's not that in depth, obviously, but still, it's nice to have the ability. Obviously, we're going to do the lime first. I'm kind of happy that we're able to do this, you know, the lime first try. Our first field, you know, before we even plant it for the first time, we're able to do lime. That does increase the yield quite a bit. Obviously, not being able to do it would be quite harmful, really, to the end crop. Don't ask me how I'm going to get this off of the trailer. I'll have to figure that one out later. More than likely, it'll involve some speed and taking a tight turn, is my guess. There we go. Go and park this back here, as it is only for store use. That's the only reason it's there for. We can't bring it to our farm or anything. It can basically only stay in this rectangle here. Well, I'll head on back to the farm. I'll get this trailer dropped, and then I'll go and grab the fertilizer spreader, and then we can get working on the lime for that field. Alright, so here we are, back at the farm. The more I look at this field, the more I realized I probably bought too much lime. That's okay. We'll use it eventually, I guess, which is not probably the right mantra to have right now. Even though we're doing pretty good financially already, I would personally say. This field could definitely probably be larger in the future. We can probably think about trying to either expand it some. It's as far as it can go this one way, though. Actually, could go a decent amount more. Could go quite a bit more that way. We own a lot of land down here, but a lot of it is forest. I did that kind of on purpose because it kind of makes it a little bit more challenging if we can't make, you know, huge fields right away, and we mainly just have forest and water. Now, I haven't actually tried steering assist on a custom-made field. Kind of curious how it is. Okay. I know they said it was supposed to work on, like, even custom-made fields, so... Like, I've extended fields and it seems to work fine, but obviously this is fully custom. Things might be a little bit different, you never know. We are going through this very quickly. But we don't have that many strips to do either. We probably can't even do a full, not even a full strip. But this is quite important, so. Now I'm pretty sure since we plowed this, it shouldn't have weeds. Which is kind of nice. I'm pretty sure it's either when you first plow a field or it's every time you plow. I'm pretty sure it's every time. Because we're going to end up having to plow this field between every harvest, because the drill that we bought is not a direct seeder. But we're going to end up having to plow it all the time, and I'm hoping that means no weeds. Because obviously, having no weeds means we don't have to look to get either a hoe, a weeder, or herbicide and a sprayer and all that stuff. That's a decent amount of money. That's not cheap stuff. Obviously, if we can not have to spend that money, that would be much appreciated, you know? It would be a way for us to save some money Because we're going to end up having to cultivate it or plow it up anyways, so we matter. Do it the way that doesn't require us to spray. We're actually using a lot more of this than I thought we would. Already 1,200 liters, so probably a good thing I bought 2 bags. That was my worry, was that I was going to buy 1 bag and we'd be just short. So it's like, I was kind of, I don't know. I was on the fence. Lime goes a lot quicker than you think it will. And I am somewhat used to precision farming lime rates, which are a little bit different because that's based off of the pH. Not a huge difference, but it's just a little bit of a difference on it. I was hoping I could lower the width, because then we could obviously save a little bit by doing that. Maybe it just automatically does that, but yeah. Doesn't apply to what's already been applied. I'm not sure if that's base game for 25. That wasn't precision farming for 22. Where it would only apply what it needed. Alright, so we should be good for this. Honestly, I'm not sure why I filled that up, because we're going to need the lime out of here next month, because we're going to have fertilizing to do. To be honest, this is probably going to be one of the few times in a survival challenge this field is going to be like top tier yield. So our first field is going to be a top tier yield, and that's a rarity. I think usually either I'm missing lime or I don't get the fertilizer down. Although I think in the last 2 survival challenges I started without the lime requirement. But I am starting with it this time. So it's a little bit different in that sense. Well, we'll head on back. We'll go and grab the cedar. Like I said, I'm thinking oats. Out of the options that we have there, it is probably the quickest growth time, which should be ready right around the high price, which is about January for oats. So hopefully we can obviously figure something out for harvesters by then. We have a couple month period where we can try to get something, figured out. All right, so here is the cedar back with us. Got switched over to oats. Like I said, that seems to make the most sense to do. In this case, at least. Yeah, it does not have a huge capacity at all. That's fine. I mean, it's not that huge of a field. I think a new cedar is probably fairly early need item. But our options are obviously kind of limited on this, so. I think I'll do steering assist again. I really do like steering assist quite a bit from base game. Obviously, in the Nature Survival Challenge, there is no workers. That's kind of been my long-term rule. All of them's been the same way. The only exception was like carrots and those type of crops where the harvester does not have a capacity in it. Then yeah, we could use a worker because we kind of almost have to. Get that lowered and on. That was kind of the only exception to that rule, was those harvesters. I know in the last one I had talked about sugar beets, because that's kind of a challenging crop because you get so much of it that it fills up so quick. Somebody did suggest making that a rule too, of you being able to use a worker for that, that's probably alright too, I would say. I haven't did sugar beets in 25, but I'm assuming you get quite a bit and it fills up the harvester pretty quick. It's obviously not super easy to do sugar beets when your trailer is, filling up like that. Your harvester's filled up immediately as well. By one person at least. So it's almost one of those things you almost want to have a worker for, so. That was a suggestion a while back. I do remember that one though. This is probably going to take a hot minute to get fully done. But yeah, I'm saying steering assist will be fine. I don't really think there's any problems with that. I mean, I'm still doing it myself. It's just probably going to look a little better, if anything. Maybe I waste a little less product. It's not the end of the world, but... yeah, otherwise, I don't really have any rule changes or anything for Survival Challenge. I did want to ask on, this is like the first Survival Challenge map where there's a option for contracts. There might have been in the last one too, but it was pretty minimal. So my question is, are these okay? What are people's thoughts on it? I don't think I would do Deadwood just because it's probably too easy for $1,500. But if we were to do like a harvesting contract or something, plowing contract, baling, whatever. But my only thought is we have to own the equipment. That would be my only rule for that. I'm just curious what everyone's thoughts are on that. I won't do any until have this video uploaded, but I'm leaning towards if we have the equipment and we don't have, we have a down month, then I don't think it's the worst thing. It allows us to do something in that down month to make some money. Even though trees seem to be pretty profitable. Alright, well, I think I'll probably just start with time-lapse. We can get this field finished out nice and quickly. So I'll text everyone once the time-lapse is done.
I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean eyes. I saw you on the road. I was chasing sunsets all alone. The darkness faded, painting goodbye big sky. Far away but dreaming of your ocean.
Alright, so just like that, our very first field has been planted. It does not say anything about weeds growing. So yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure plowing means you don't have to, well, you don't have weeds. We will need to get this second layer of fertilizer next time, of course. That'll be a next time thing. But yeah, this should be ready like either the month after the high price or right around the high price, because that's kind of the tough thing is obviously we don't have a silo, so we don't have a way to store this grain until it is a higher price. We either have to harvest the field and take the worst price, or not harvest it, which I don't think that's really realistic, just to not harvest your field because you're not happy with the prices. Most people are going to store it. You know, you kind of have to harvest your field eventually. Alright, so there we go. So, we're going to have to try to line things up. For the most part, I have a fairly good idea on when some of the higher, price things are and when they growth times and stuff. Like after this, if we get it harvested, like, I don't know, December, January, we'd probably be looking at like barley maybe. Because that would be like a 9-month growth time. That would get it fairly close to that higher price point for barley. It's kind of you gotta think way ahead when you're planting your crop and when the high price is and how long the growth time is in here, because you can't store it. I'm not sure what kind of prices there are on silos. I'm just gonna assume that they're not cheap. That's for hay. Oh, there's not too bad. 18,000 liter one's $8,000. I want more than that, though. Obviously, long term, you're going to want something far, far more than that. 19 grand for what, 2 million? That's not too bad. That'll be something maybe we'll look to, in the future. I think if we do get one, which eventually we will. I think that might be something we'll look into doing. And then we also have these, which I'm going to have to remember that we have these. Because they're fairly cheap ways we could make flour or oil as well. So it might be one of those things where it might not be bad in the future. I don't think right now we're in the right area to really be doing that. I don't think we're anywhere near the ability to afford stuff like that, but eventually. Yeah, I'll continue to keep an eye out on this. It should be good for a while, though. Like I said, I lowered this significantly in the cycles per month, so we shouldn't be making nearly as much this way. To 35 liters. I think it's sold. It sells at every hour or something. Yeah. The planks seem to be not the highest price thing we can make. They all produce right around the same amount of liter amount. But a pallet of planks are like $4,000 and wood beams are like $8,000-$9,000. So it's quite a bit big of a difference. I think $4,000 it's not terrible for 1 month. Plus, obviously, the little bit of minus for automatic sell. But anyways, that is about everything for today. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.